Hey guys, welcome back. This is the market review for Monday the 3rd of October for Bitcoin. And before we get into price action, again wanna show you the economic calendar. And we had two high impact news events yesterday. First one was at 10 a.m. and the other one was at 3 p.m. And if we look at the price action, 10 a.m. is this candle right here. We see there was volatility introduced to the market, and then 3 p.m. again, volatility, big candle introduced into the market. So that's just something you have to focus on when you look at price action. And when we drop to lower time frames, we can really see what the high impact news event did yesterday, or the high impact news events actually. So today we have two setups on the 15-minute. That's more than usual, and I'm gonna start off with these. But before I do that, technically what yesterday's price action did is run into this fair value gap over here. If you want to look at this, I'll draw that out, and here price filled that and now is staying inside this fair value gap. So that's what price action did yesterday. And now let's get into the setups. So the first setup occurred in the morning, and from this low to this high, price pushes up, breaks this high right here, leading to a market structure break, left behind a fair value gap, came back down into the fair value gap, into a discount. Just had to look if I want to draw it something like differently, but it's fine. So as you can see, price dropped back down, filled the fair value gap perfectly. Price is in the discount, touches this order block right here, and then reverses, breaks this high, and then is the 9:30 area, so the market open, where price usually does a Judo swing. You can see it here, it runs down back to the daily open, below the daily open, acquires long positions, and then at 10 a.m. when high impact news events drop, price really started to push upwards. And this drop down is actually our next setup on the 15-minute, because we have a fair value gap here which price respects. I mean, it drops below it, but it only wicks below it. The closes of the candles, or the bodies of the candles, are all within the fair value gap. So that's very nice to see. And as you can see, the bodies of these two candles respect this order block quite well. They only go into it a little bit. So that's the next setup on the 15-minute. Also very clean, very nice. And then actually we could, the next few, or next two high-low sequences can be seen as a trade setup on the 15-minute as well. Because again, we push up, we break this high, we come back down, we fill the fair value gap, price touches a discount, and then runs up back up again, targeting this fair value gap right here. And even the last one is quite nicely visible. We have the fair value gap right here, just above and going into discount slightly. Price drops back down, fills the fair value gap, goes into discount. The bodies of the candles respect the fair value gap, don't go through it. Price touches this order block right here, these down close candles, and then runs up once more. And this drop down is exactly the 3 p.m. candle where this high impact news event was. the price dropped down, a lot of volatility as you can see, and then it pushed up once more. So that's quite a lot of setups on a 15-minute, more than we usually have. And now let's drop down to a lower time frame. And the first setup I want to show you is actually not 1 minute, but the first setup on the lower time frames is on the 1 minute, right over here. Yeah. As you can see, I'm gonna draw it out like this. So first what we have is a market structure break right here. Price pushes up, down, so it makes a high, higher low, higher high, and then yeah, we have a market structure shift, so we expect price to go higher. At this point we are here, so we expect price to take out this high and maybe push up for these kind of equal highs. So we are looking for longs in here. We have a fair value gap. Price drops back down into this fair value gap, touches a discount, and then goes up, taking out this high. And eventually those kind of equal highs. So that's like 3 highs which are pretty much equal. So price is definitely going to target these. So yeah, nice trade setup on the 1 minute. In the morning, that was during the London session. And yeah, from here we go on over to the 930. I mean, as you can see, we have the 930 Tudor swing here. Price pushes up and then pushes down back to the or below the daily open, and here it then reverses. And this reversal right here is a visible market structure shift on the 1 minute. As you can see, we have a swing high here, which price breaks on this up move, comes back down into the fair value gap which was left behind. If we draw up the fib, we can see this is in a deep discount. So price moves back down into a deep discount, filling the fair value gap. As you can see, only the wicks of the candles push through the fair value gap, but the bodies of the candles respect the fair value gap, and then price pushes or starts to push up higher on the 10 AM high impact news event. Price really starts to repress higher, taking out this high, and then like consecutive highs. Like all the highs that were left all the way up to the fair value gap, which you can see here. This big fair value gap was the target for the day. And on this up leg, where we had like the 15-minute entries, there are also entries on smaller time frames. For example, this on the 3 minute. So this was this move right here was the 1 minute setup we just looked at, and right next to it is a 3 minute setup. So this high was broken right here on this up move. This big up move left behind quite a big fair value gap, and we have not yet broken this high. So we think price is gonna go higher and break this high. So we're looking for longs. Price pushes back down into a discount, touching the fair value gap, and then pushing back up higher, taking out this high and more highs after that. So nice setup on the 3 minute, and this is a setup I like as I said in an earlier episode, I like it when price stops close before a liquidity target and then gives you a setup. Like right here we have a setup close to this high, so we expect price to run this liquidity up here, and so it comes back down and then eventually breaks through, takes this liquidity. So very nice setup. And now we go on the 1 minute and we have another setup in this up leg more or less. This is during lunch, so as I said, lunch setups can be weird, but usually on Bitcoin lunch setups are also quite clean, so that's why we journal them, because they are good to study as they are very clean. So as you can see, we have like starting at like 11:15 all the way to like 12:30 with a little bit of a downtrend. Price drops down and then eventually bottoms out here with low, then with a high here, with a higher low, and then eventually it breaks through, breaking this high, leading to a shift in market structure, bringing us a higher high here. So here we expect higher prices, meaning we're looking for longs. We draw out the fib tool. We also have a fair value gap here. And price drops back down, fills the fair value gap, drops into a discount, respects these two candles right here, which are order block. If you look at the line from my cursor, the bodies of these two candles respect the body of this candle right here quite nicely. So they respect the order block, which supports our idea of a long trade. And then price starts to push up higher, first slowly and then eventually takes out that high. And that was, no, it was not the last setup. We have one more on the 5 minute, and on the 5 minute this was after the 3 p.m. High impact news event, which we can see here. Like on the high impact news event, price started to drop just lower, couple of big candles, nice amount of volatility there. And I mean, we already looked at that setup on the 15 minute from here to here. I'll show it to you. This was exactly one setup we looked at the 15 minute, but now I'll go and show it to you on the 5 minute, because on the 5 minute it's a little bit cleaner and there's more context to it, like why it moved like it did. So we have a fair value gap right here, which is right around discount. You know, like discount pretty much splits it in half. And so price drops down with the high impact news event, drops into the fair value gap, pushes through it but only wicks through it. As you can see, the bodies of the candles are all within the fair value gap, they don't go below the fair value gap, and price respects this order block. These three down close candles are an order block, and we expect price not to really push through it. And as you can see, again, look at the line from my cursor right here. If I put it on the bottom of these candles, it respects this order block quite nicely. So the top of this candle, or the open of this candle, is one nice line. If you draw it out, you can see the closes of these, or the close of that candle and the open of that candle respect this order block quite nicely. Then price starts to trickle around a bit and then eventually move up. If we now take another fib tool from this high to this low, we can see after price touched this fair value gap, from this high to this low, so in this move, price then stays around the 0.5 level, so around equilibrium, and then eventually pushes up. So we have consolidation around the 0.5 level, so around equilibrium from this price move, from this high to this low, stays pretty much to the center line, to the 0.5 level. So so not really in a premium, not really in a discount, but in equilibrium, consolidates here, and then eventually we have another expansion upwards. And this was the final move for the day, or the final trade setup for the day that I found. There might be some more on the 1 minute chart, but they are not as clean. And yeah, these were all the clean setups that I found. And yeah, I hope to help you in your studying. If you enjoyed them, leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more, just write me down in the comment section below what you want to see. Maybe some suggestions you have. Maybe I should do a market review for a different pair. And yeah, just let me know. And I hope you have a great day. I hope you're safe, and I hope I see you again. Bye.